My name is Pat Jo, and with me is Dinah Jim, and she's a cousin of mine, and she's also a Kwanlin First Nation member and belong to the Tagish Kwan. My presentation is about Yukon First Nation oral tradition. Yukon First Nation stories indigenizes the curriculum. It takes the Western worldview out. It helps teachers integrate First Nation curriculum. It is powerful and interactive instructional tool in today's classrooms. It honors the ancestors and elders and the traditional ways of teaching. Oral stories tell who you are and where you come from. I belong to the Wolf Clan and the Yeti and Killer Whale Ducklewaity, both of the Wolf Clan. I am from the original people, Tagish Marsh Lake people, who along with the Tlingit, Southern and Northern Shoshone, walked on the ancestral trails and traveled the rivers for thousands of years where the city of Whitehorse is situated. I am the great-great-granddaughter of the Marsh Lake chief. My grandfather is Southern Shoshone from the Huchai Crow. My name is Pat Jo, and I'm a teacher, and I'm a citizen of Kwanlin First Nation. I know who I am and where I come from. I know Crow made the world. Yukon First Nation oral tradition tells about the history of Yukon First Nation people by passing on cultural information from one generation to the next. In the beginning, our elders tell us that oral stories are from long ago when the world was beginning. It was a time when animals and people could talk to each other and could transform from one to the other. Traditionally, myths and legends were one of the main ways of educating young people into the beliefs and customs of that community. Yukon First Nation stories often contain a clear moral or lesson. It's not standalone. These lessons are not standalone. One example, the girl who married the bear, can be used in integration in all grades and subject areas. Repetition, repetition, repeat, repeat, told and retold. This is oral tradition. The stories are heard many times throughout the stages of life, from the time we were in the belly till the day we died. Keep our stories vibrant. I'm a First Nation integration teachers. I go and teach from kindergarten to grade 12, First Nation stories, traditions, and culture. I also am a teacher at the Individual Learning Center. It is this where I integrate the stories individually with the students. I did talk to one student, asked if I could use his name. He was just one student. He wasn't interested and wasn't engaged, but I went to him and I said, "You come from great people. Your grandfather was a chief of Mayo at one time. He was a great hunter. I said, let's find some stories about him. So we contacted First Nation, and they sent us all kinds of material, oral stories. He was engaged. He's supposed to do a 5-paragraph. He did about 5 pages, and now he's wanting to do a poster. He wants to put his grandfather, and he's going to do his poetry based on his grandfather. So he was engaged, and he's going to remember that he is a Wolverine and he belongs to the Raven clan. So when he graduates, he's already making his vest. I'm Raven, I'm Wolverine. Thank you.